走り出したら止まらない。
さあ君はどこまで走っていけるかな。ファミコンシティコネクション新登場、ジャレコ。
Welcome to the first episode of Capsuled Games, this short video series where I'll be making reviews of retro video games. After making my leap from the classic Atari console to my first Nintendo console, the Nintendo Entertainment System, it came the time to choose my first game besides the default Super Mario Bros. Then in the store, I was indecisive on picking a game. Suddenly it piqued my sight, a game that I already knew by the arcade. So my first NES game was City Connection, published by the Japanese company Jaleco in 1985 for arcades, a brand that was little known by games like Astyanax and Bases Loaded. Later this game was adapted for the NES, being published in 1988. The game is about running through different cities around the world in your car, painting many platforms that are on each city. Because you're painting on these cities, the patrol starts chasing you, trying to crash with you, and as you go on, the levels and the difficulty increases. The patrols start appearing by surprise, running the opposite way like suicide drivers, and when crashed, the pieces of your car go out flying, turning into hearts. And if you look many of the games then, it was very common to see hearts in almost anything, as if everything had a romantic side. Your car is constantly moving, so in order to paint the city and avoid the patrols, you only can change the way of your movement, jump to another platform, or go down to a lower platform. And the platform position depends on the level you are, so in advanced levels, the platforms are smaller or are in a place where it's more difficult to go up. The NES version is different to the arcade in having less cities you can run, leaving only one city in USA, France, Germany, England, India, and Japan. To defend yourself from pursuing patrols, you pick up cans of oil that when thrown up, you can ram the patrols and push them out of the screen. As an extra, you can pick up red balloons that randomly appear on each city. If you pick up 3 of these balloons, you move many cities ahead. When finishing each city, the game counts how many cans you have collected, in addition to the collect balloons, summing up points that, as in any arcade games, your goal is to get the highest score. An unusual obstacle that shows up in this game are the cats that are standing in one leg holding a checkered flag, becoming an annoyance, because if you hit them, it equals to that you lose a life, while they'll go off flying, playing a classic music tune from Europe that in Japan is called Neko Funjata, that could be translated as I walk over a cat. That is indeed a parody to the situation. As it happens with Japanese games adapted to the Western audience, this one had changes, in this case replacing the star character. In the original Japanese version, the driver was a pretty girl that was replaced by a tall blonde driver, that maybe he would be more popular with the Western players. But this change was better for the Western version, since in each level change there is an image of the driver, being always the same on the Japanese one, and it changes depending on the level in the Western version. This game especially piqued my attention when I got it, since it evoked me the anime series Minky Momo, of which I'm fan, looking at the graphics of the car like the vehicles she uses, besides the fact that you're always traveling. And it's appealing that the game graphics have a look very anime styled. Unfortunately, this game has only one remake, because Jaleco has almost disappeared. This remake was only published for the Japanese cell phones called City Connection Rocket, with many additions, like a story and new power-ups. This is a casual game, because it's repetitive nature, but it's always an enjoyment to replay it, so I recommend keeping it on the vault. Thank you for your suggestions and comments. See you on the next capsule.